Welcome back to CLN 5's Achieving Results presentation, and we now move on to the important stuff. So what? What does this all mean to me? How do I achieve results? We provide this section of the presentation to you as our take on practical application of the concepts to your workplace. We want you to take our thoughts and comments and build on them to support your methods, systems, and challenge yourself to improve. In this presentation, we'll present 4 of the 6 areas we considered as a team that we think provoke critical thinking. Our aim is not to provide you perfect solutions, but to prompt you to think and consider the implication of these theories to your workplace. From Scott's case study earlier, we considered that understanding the political dimension is critical. Firstly, set your agenda. Don't feel bad or that you feel as though you're manipulating others. They're already working towards their end game, and who's to say they are as ethical as you? Second, map the political terrain. Try determining the channels of information, identifying principal agents of political influence, analyse possibilities for mobilising internal and external players, and anticipate counter strategies that others like to employ. Thirdly, network and build coalitions. Managers often fail to get things done because they rely too much on reason and too little on relationships. As such, figure out the players you need to influence, assess who might resist and how strongly, develop links with potential opponents to facilitate communication, education, or negotiation. And if all that fails, consider a more subtle or a more forceful approach. Finally, bargain and negotiate. This is central to the decision-making process. Negotiation is needed whenever 2 or more parties with some interest in common and others in conflict need to reach an agreement. So, how do we improve our social intelligence? A possible approach is to score yourself over time on the questions included in this slide. How confident are you in social situations? Well, you have to be confident. Do you have and demonstrate a genuine interest in others? If you can't, well, that's your issue to solve, not theirs. Can you read others' emotional and social signs? If not, ask people in your team or those you trust what they're thinking. Do you clearly articulate your emotions and feelings in an assertive manner? If in doubt, ask questions confirming others' interpretation of what you've said. Are you developing your understanding of social dynamics? Try writing 3 social or emotional statements about a team or individual that you think are accurate, and then revisit those statements after spending more time with the subject and analyse how attuned you are to people's social and emotional states. We briefly mentioned earlier that John Hamm likened leadership to a locomotive of 5 carriages moving in unison. There are 5 messages or levers that leaders must manage to move organisations forward. The first is to manage the corporate hierarchy and organisational structure. Secondly, focus on strategies and measure their success through metrics, possibly financial. 3, ask great questions and steer away from knowing all the answers. 4, time is scarce. Choose wisely what you do with it. And finally, communicate the behaviours which will determine the organisational culture. Importantly, leader-managers need to stop the grand, overarching yet fuzzy notions of where the company is going. Start inspiring the organisation to take responsibility for creating a better future and continue to change and challenge your mindset to shifting the conventional management paradigm to create the modern enterprise of tomorrow. In Discover Your Authentic Leadership by George et al. Back in week 1, we were informed that we need to learn from our life story, know our authentic self, practice our values and principles, balance our extrinsic and intrinsic motivations, build our support team, integrate our life by staying grounded, and empower people to lead. Well, so what? How do we achieve this? Simply, just do it. Get up, get started, and never stop moving forward. Everything starts with you, and you need to develop yourself, your methods, and your systems. For example, ask yourself how you structure your vision, how you communicate your vision, and how do you deliver on your vision. Now test yourself, your methods, and your systems through experience. Take risks and learn from the opportunities they present. Then reflect, rebuild, refine, and go again. Never give up. Finally, trust yourself, your methods, and your systems. Believe you can achieve results. And that concludes CLN Group 5's presentation on achieving results. Visit the toolkit regularly to reflect on this week and indeed the semester's learning. We trust we have given you a brief enough overview of the theories. We've shown you a practical application of those theories through a case study, identified gaps in the concepts, and provided you possible approaches to achieving results in some circumstances. We wanted to finish by asking you to comment on which of the statements on this slide you agree with the least. These statements are copied into the submission email on Blackboard and will require careful thought as you consider which issue is more contentious for you. Thanks for listening. We hope we have provoked thought and challenged your mind to develop your own authentic leadership.